What it is.
What's up?
It's
Nacho in the cook.
God damn. That was a nice throwback. How's everyone?
Well, I'm okay, all things considered. I'm,
Just yeah.
I'm like, I'm in good spirits in a weird way. Does that make sense?
Mm,
Like, obviously, with everything that's been going on, obviously, we're going to touch on it in great detail. But on a personal level, myself, I'm good. How about
yeah.
you guys?
Yeah, I'd say the same, just exhausted is all. Like
Yeah.
it's just them ones you go online and it's nothing changing. You've just gone from a pandemic into a whole pandemonium. It's just insane.
I hear
Mine's
that.
mine's
No
good, fam. It's just peaks and troughs. That's what it is. So
mm,
I'm not in the middle. I'm just in between the middle and peaks. So
Mm,
I hear
alright.
that.
I'm alright. I'm okay.
Staying
good to hear.
healthy.
Yeah.
That's the most important thing, man. You just gotta try and keep busy, which is what we've all been doing. So
Yeah.
I guess first topic, some good news. Well, I don't know, depends who you ask, but for us, it's good news. The Premier League is making its return June 17th, innit?
Oh, that's quick.
17th, yeah.
Yeah, the man just opened. They got the green light and they opened all doors, man.
Okay. So how's that set up then, in terms of
So
audience?
they're playing behind closed doors, like most of Europe has done as it's opened back up. Um, makes sense. They have no other choice.
It's like Sunday League then.
Basically, they're trying to make it have atmosphere, but it's not working. Collins was saying something quite interesting, or he put something interesting in the chat where he was saying that home advantage is actually more or less disappeared because there's no fans there. It just feels like you're playing a training game.
Yeah,
Yeah.
essentially the better team will will show up on the day
Mm.
and play through, and they won't necessarily rely on home support. So essentially, when you play a game of football, you are 40% more likely to win a game if you're playing at home. And through the stats that have been collated from the Bundesliga for the first few games, turns out it's dropped dramatically to about maybe 18%. So
Jeez.
essentially, home advantage is eradicated, which is interesting because you look at teams like Liverpool who take pride in that. Like people know
Yeah.
if you go to Anfield and you're playing on what is it, a Sunday night, you're gonna lose. Or for example, like a relegation team, if they're like in a fight to stay up,
Mm.
if their fans are not there, essentially they're in trouble because they're not
Yeah.
exactly gonna get new skills out of nowhere. So
Exactly. I don't see it changing much though. In terms of, I don't think that it will impact the league too much. Only because ours is a bit done more towards the top anyway. I don't see it changing, but the relegation teams it will hurt a lot because there's not much at the bottom there. There's about 6 teams that can still go down, and it's just not ideal. Like you need your fans to get you through those tough periods, and if they're not there, it's going to be a dogfight.
we will definitely see games that are that we're going to be angry at. And what I mean by that is we're going to see games where there might be teams who won't even try. Does that make sense? So
Yeah.
there'll be a team that
Yeah.
will probably be relegated already, or if Liverpool win already,
Mm,
they're not exactly chasing any records anymore because they can't go unbeaten no more. So the games after they win, are they even going to put the effort in for it? Probably not.
yeah.
Do you know what I'm
And then
saying?
also,
Knowing,
like
yeah, go on.
when a kid plays football, and they're just playing like in their small training groups and whatever, and then the next thing is like their parents are cheering them on. There's a crowd there, so that's ingrained in them from very young. So then all of a
Yeah.
sudden now you're playing with no crowd. It's like,
Psychologically, yeah, that is going to be interesting.
yeah,
And obviously, people feed off the crowd. And what I've been interested in, and I noticed it, or the prime example of it for me so far has been loss in concentration. So the players just aren't as sharp. Like it's a lot of them are still, they've not played in 3 months, so they've had no preseason and they've just gone back to games that have stakes. So there's a lack of concentration. The first time I saw it, or like it was prevalent, was with Kimmich's goal against Dortmund. I just felt like Dortmund shut off like it was a training game. So that's something I'm really looking forward to seeing when the Premier League comes back, how they're going to keep their concentration. Some players have gone away and put weight on. I don't think KDB can argue he's put weight on. He put weight on. So, I mean, if you see a picture of KDB, he's definitely put weight on. So it's going to be interesting to see the fitness levels as well with our players. So I don't think it was too much of an issue in Germany, but I don't follow it like that. So some team might have had someone who came back, put on a pound or something. But you know, that's going to be interesting to see the fitness levels as well. Can people really go for the 90 minutes?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm just happy it's back, bro. On a selfish thing, I need my team to pattern that Champions League position because I'm done.
And
Europa.
Do you know what? It's kind of a cheat as well because everyone's fit now for you lot. Like everyone's can play. I think Pogba's eligible.
Rashford's back.
That's not fair, man. And then watch, we're gonna be putting a spliff by Man City on the first game back. Like I'll be like, this should have been null and void. There was no need for this. I didn't come back to see this. We're gonna get absolutely battered. I'm not looking forward to it, but I am glad to have it back. And the way every match is going to be available for free, isn't it? And some are going to be on BBC. Which is huge because that means everyone can watch football, regardless of if you have Sky, BT Sport. So that's great as well. And the way they've set up the games going forward, it's actually really good for us because I think it means football's on more or less every day.
Essentially, yeah. They've staggered it so that there's going to be multiple matches per day. So it won't be for a lack of entertainment, which is...
And it's for free.
Yeah, so
25 of the 69 games are for free on BT.
Is it BT or BBC?
Right.
BBC, sorry. And the rest are on Sky, and then the rest are on BT and Amazon.
That's an L for them, though, surely. How are they going to make that money back that by giving it to BBC?
Who?
Just the Premier League or...
I mean, the money that they were getting initially, I assumed it was through... you know how they can sell it to like NBC in America and like the Arab countries and stuff like that, where you get the illegal streams. I think that's where the initial money comes from. I don't know if that deal is still in place. I don't think so, considering the rest are all free now for us. So the Premier League.
Because I know like the football teams, they make money. Well, the football teams in general, they make money from merchandise, ticket sales, and sponsorships. So sponsorships I'm not too worried about. Merchandise I'm not too worried about, but ticket sales, that's a big chunk out of revenue.
I know. But they factored it in. I think a lot of businesses over the next few months will be saying some money is better than no money.
And then also the businesses around as well, like restaurants, pubs. That's gone.
You can't even like imagine, like you don't actually think about stuff like that. That's a good point. Like a lot of people's livelihood is based around the games being on, sort of thing. You know, the chippy on the way where people will go to get fish and chips before the game. Like that's gone.
Yeah.
I mean, it's good to have it back, but like this, like with everything else, it's gonna have to come back in stages. I don't think people will be able to be in a stadium till 2021. Really.
That's too long. I think for some restaurants, and the pubs opening up back again, it's cool. But you know, for the restaurants, some of them have just been doing Deliveroo, Uber Eats. But the ones where you come and sit in Airbnb, bruv, they're all gone down the toilet. That's people's money. That's people's food.
For real. Because they're saying when pubs and stuff can open up, a lot of them might not be able to because it's not. They won't be able to social distance. So if they can't do it, then there's no point in opening up. So what we're going to see is a lot of chains will probably take over. So you'll have for example, Wetherspoons. They can make sure that they can socially distance, whereas your local pub, they can't do that.
No.
So,
and those sort of establishments, those businesses, they deal with numbers. That's it. If people are not inside, then it's dead.
Yeah.
If people are there, then it's a great night.
That's what that's the vibes, man.
Like,
You're
even
speaking.
remember the time when I don't even know why we were there. We were in San Martin, a pub in Chafford 100. I don't know why we were there, but we saw, what's his name? Dan. We saw Dan Francis. It was like, yo, what's going? Like, that moment, you're gonna tell us now to stay 2 meters apart.
Yeah,
I don't
know
think
what you mean.
people don't want to do that. And I think the general public will just start to misbehave in terms of the guidelines that have been set in place by the government.
Yeah.
But in all honesty, that's just normal behavior. So we'll see what happens, man.
It's going to be tough. Like, again, we're happy football's coming back, and I think there's no time like the present. I think it's coming back more or less at the right time, especially because they're going to be played behind closed doors. But we'll just have to take it day by day and just watch how things progress, because the players have already gone back to full contact training. So, you know, they would have probably really judged it and been like, okay, it's actually safe to come back and at least just play behind closed doors at this moment in time. So,
yeah, definitely.
One of them ones, really.
It is, man.
Just hope Arsenal don't come back to just disappoint me.
I won't get your hopes up, mate.
Don't.
That club needs serious fixing, honestly.
But honestly, I think all the football players, in terms of them putting weight, I don't think they put too much. I think a lot of them are still active. Some of them have been active on the low, like they've been silent. They've not been putting it on social media, nothing. They've just been in the park or in their garden, just doing what they can do to stay active, encouraging their teammates. But if anyone's putting on weight, they can lose that off, man. They all have that sportsman mentality, so yes.
And they've got like the best fitness people in the world probably at their clubs trying to help them. If they have put on any weight to try and help them go off, you would have liked Jose Mourinho what he was doing during lockdown. That man broke lockdown like 3 times to go train with his players at a park.
Jose's a terrorist, man.
Honestly,
in every aspect of life, that man is just a terrorist, bro.
Absolutely.
If there's anybody in football that is actually probably like Michael Jordan, it's probably Jose Mourinho.
It might be him. I think he takes too much BS though to be compared to Jordan, but no,
he's a high socially functioning social.
It's elite mentality. Like, there's actually sometimes I just think there's no way you can throw someone under the bus like this.
I saw a video a few weeks ago, and he was talking about. Do you remember that manager for Southampton, Van der Boer?
Yeah.
And he came out and said, Rashford's development under Mourinho, it's not good for him. because basically he was saying Mourinho, all he knows how to do is win. And then Mourinho in the press conference is like, if Rashford was under Van der Boer, 9 games, 9 losses. All he knows how to lose.
You have to be, man. You have to have that. You know what? It's every time you are in that position, it's demon time, bro. You have to be on that.
He's the worst for it. He's absolutely the worst.
Do you know what? If he could swear, like in the press conference, say for example how he doesn't like Tanga Dembele, or is it Ndembe? He'd just be like, "Dude, shit, man! Like, get him out of my team." He could just be so frank. That man just ruins careers for no reason.
He's the best. I can't wait to see him back again, man.
No. He's sometimes he's good vibes, sometimes he's bad vibes.
100%.
And there's no in the middle.
No,
I feel like he's one of those people to play for him. It'd be really good, like when you're on a high, but when you're not performing,
he's getting you out of there. 100%.
For real, any way you can as well. He's quick to sell.
If there's conflict, you'll know.
100%. Do you remember that video of Pogba where there's no speech? And you can see the way Pogba looked at him like, are you crazy?
I want to know what he said. Pogba was really on smoke.
And he's a very calm guy. Like, you can tell he's probably really happy-go-lucky. So for Mourinho, for what Mourinho said, it must have been a madness, to be honest. Oh, man.
Do you know what's interesting? I mean, Jose Mourinho was going towards leaving Man United anyway. Like, I think it was pretty inevitable. But do you think, especially your most expensive signing, do you think Pogba probably has a part to play in that? If he's like, yo, I'm not staying here. Pogba's still here.
I don't know what the thing is. The funny thing is, it's not. You could tell it wasn't just him who was angry about it.
I think, yeah.
There was bare play. Like even Rashford, yeah, Rashford. You could tell he obviously respected Mourinho, but he did not like playing for him because if you watch back the highlights of the Spurs game in this season, it was his best performance because he wanted to show Mourinho like you're a pussy, bruv. Like I'm that guy. So there was a lot of discontent. It's just it's easy to pin it on Pogba because the media gets behind it. And obviously he is a most high value player, so it's very. And they had a public dispute, so it was very
falling out.
obvious. But it was Luke Shaw who didn't like him. It was
the whole team.
The whole team, bar Lukaku and Sanchez.
As soon as he left,
and
what
Matic.
I remember is that everyone was just playing well together, man. It's just like they just came fresh home, like they just played well together. This is the first time they're experiencing just freedom.
Man tried to bring up Luke Shaw. No one likes Luke Shaw.
A man said that he used Luke Shaw's brain, and he used Luke Shaw's brain, and Luke Shaw used his body in order for him to work properly. Imagine your manager goes up to you in a press conference and says, "Yo, Emmanuel, you did well today, but it wasn't you. It was me controlling you, but you used your body to do the job. You're vexed."
Do you know what the thing is?
You're vexed.
Honestly, on site, has to. As soon as he gets out the press conference, you got to let him know he's there. You're there.
He's box office, man. That man.
2 piece and a biscuit. That's what it is. You already know what time.
For real, bro.
Nah, Jose's tapped, honestly.
But yeah, it'll be exciting when it all comes back.
It'll be pretty exciting. Because right now, I mean, in this group chat, bruv, right now people are just talking nonsense. Like, there's no football no more. Like, I'm talking about my work group chat. Like, they're just talking nonsense. As soon as football comes back, that's when it's popping. That's when bang, bang, bang.
Nah, people are really missing sports, man. Not even just football, but any kind of sport.
Any kind of sport, yeah.
Bring it back, man. I can't wait. So I want to talk to you guys about the Tenet trailer. So I don't think we've met or spoken since it came out. So
has it come out?
No, not the film. The trailer's come out. It was the second trailer. So in Nolan we trust. You know, that's not going to change. But I'm getting to a point now, and a lot of trailers are doing this recently, where I don't know what's going on, and it's jarring.
Did you know what was going on in Inception? In the trailer for Inception?
Does anyone, even still now, I've seen Inception several times, and I love that film. I still don't know what's going on, man.
It's one of my favorite movies. I feel like I got it.
Yeah, I
feel like I got it. Bro. But you know what it is? I don't put too much stock into trailers, man. I'll be honest. I'm quite and he's in this particular instance, he's built up enough clout and respectability that I don't care if the trailer doesn't make sense, because I'm going to go into that movie and A, it's going to surprise me, or B, I will get some kind of explanation.
Yeah,
you know I'm saying. So I don't really. He's made me watch movies back and see certain things where my mind's been blown. So he could literally just put out a trailer of 10 seconds of mumbo jumbo. I'll still watch it. I'm all the way.
I mean, he's at that point, and I'm invested. It's just interesting because I think it's the purpose of the trailer to show you the best bits and to get you excited. And we've all been there. We've seen Transformers does it to us every year. You know, whenever they bring out a new one, it looks great. It's like, you know what? I have to see it. Like, what's the story here? You get to the cinema. It's one of the worst films you've ever watched. Honestly, I still need my money back for Transformers 5.
Yeah, that was awful.
They were talking. Wow.
But if they give you an explanation during a trailer, if they make
Isn't an explanation in the trailer itself though?
Yeah, where they were saying it's basically
it's to do with time
going
but
backwards.
That's about
essentially.
It. Like, I don't really.
They have the technology
on the plot.
They have the technology, and it's weapons of mass destruction where time can go backwards. That's enough for me to be invested.
How's that dangerous?
We'll have to wait.
Very dangerous, bro. It's very, very dangerous. You're playing with time in itself. You're playing with time. That's one aspect. The other aspect is, if someone, like in the Bible, there's a king. He was supposed to die, and then his life got extended for 15 years, and then his children were the worst children in the actual Bible. So sometimes when you're supposed to die, you're supposed to die.
Yeah, if it's your time, it's your time. You can't.
Yeah, if it's your time, it's your time. Now all of a sudden, I'm going to reverse time.
Bit booky. Yo.
Yeah.
I mean, I get what you're saying, but I don't know. I feel like the trailer could have. Maybe it's just me, but I felt like the trailer could have definitely hyped me up for it a bit more, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed I thought it was a pretty good trailer. I thought it was really good. I feel like I missed this type of Nolan movie. I wasn't the biggest fan of Dunkirk because I feel like it was probably something I had to see in cinemas. I didn't get that element of awe that everyone's saying because it's like a cinema experience. And Interstellar was good, but it's not one of my favorites. So he's a world-class director, and I don't have any doubt that the movie is gonna be good. I know it's got what's his name, Denzel's son in it as well. So and Robert
he's a great actor.
So I'm already in. Like it'll be hard for him to fuck it up, in my opinion.
Yeah. Have you ever watched? So I guess the question would be: have you guys ever watched trailers and then been like, and then actually watch the film and be like, okay, the trailer was bad, but this film was alright, and then vice versa, like the trailer was good, but the film's terrible.
Batman versus Superman.
Oh,
freaking! We're gonna get onto that in a second. What's this? Suicide Squad. There's a bunch of other films, man. Other films where it's just like the trailer was just whack, and then the film's actually good.
I'm interested to see how Fast 9 is.
Let's not talk about that. Let's not talk about that. But yeah, what's it? Batman versus Superman. The Justice League. I mean, the Justice League was just meh. That's the film, man. It's just meh.
I think for me, my prime example would probably be Suicide Squad. Like, I thought that looked like a decent trailer. Like, it was well cut, well edited. Like, I was sold. I was like, you know what, I'm gonna watch this film. One of the worst films I've ever watched in my life.
that movie's Bazura, man.
Twilight is another one for me.
No, but you didn't watch the trailer for Twilight and think, oh, this could be alright.
Yeah, I did, because it was a film that we went to watch. But then it was just like, for me, it was just bland, bruv. It was pale
VVS
and stale.
Diamonds, innit?
That's a
What more
VVS.
could you?
Finished.
He fully went out in the sun, depressed. I just see VVS. I'm like, what? Fam, this is mad.
Hey, yo,
It's a good twist to like the vampire myth, innit? If you go out in the sun, you perish. But it's the fact that he goes out in the sun. Now it's just rubbish, man.
I don't know how rappers haven't made a line about that yet.
What VVS Diamonds like what's his name?
Like I'm Edward Cullen.
Like I'm Edward Cullen. The fuck out of here, man.
Oh no, hip hop swelled me.
But
that, you know, that's
if I really deep it, the concept of the film about being like a skinny vampire, not necessarily strong like Blade. That's a pretty good concept. I mean, that's a pretty good way of just looking at the concept of superheroes. But still, for me, it was bland.
They paved the way, though. They paved the way. That fight at the end ended up inspiring Civil War, fam. I'm not gonna lie.
You think?
Oh, yeah.
Nah, I'm chatting shit. I'm chatting west. But I don't know. Like, there's not many situations where I'd watch a trailer and it'd be really bad and make me want to watch the movie, because that's initially the initial advert. Do you know what I mean? The trailer's trash.
Was the trailer disappointing? But it was a film you kind of wanted to see anyway.
I don't know. I find more situations where I'd actually never heard of a movie, not seen a trailer, and gone in and seen a movie and been like, "Oh my god, this movie is amazing." So that happened to me with Horrible Bosses when it came out. Like, I was like, I've not seen a trailer, and we're like, let's just watch it randomly. I watched it and I was like, yo, this is like £7 well spent, because I was thoroughly entertained. And I think the same with 21 Jump Street, but I think maybe the trailer came out for that. I can't remember.
I think we were excited just because of Ice Cube.
Okay, I definitely saw the trailer for 21 Jump Street. I
Yeah.
must have.
It's gonna take a lot more than Ice Cube to make me see a film, bro.
But in that instance, the cast is strong because
Was it?
Jonah Hill is
Yeah.
an undeniably good actor, and Channing Tatum, you don't really know what you're going to get with him, but he actually was really good in that movie. So
He has some terrible bags, man. Honestly.
do you remember that G.I. Joe movie that he was in?
Soda Dash.
Swear down. I really enjoyed that film. It's just that
I watched that in cinemas.
he was in it. Then the next thing, what's my man's name? The Wayans brothers.
Was it not Marlon Wayans?
It's the one that does all the silly films now.
Yeah, so there was him, and then there was Channing Tatum. Then the next one, Channing Tatum died. Then it's The Rock, and I'm like, bro, I really don't want to see this film.
Yeah,
that
the
first one was a decent film.
I don't know. I felt like there was some really because I thought it was decent, and I watched it again. I was like, wow, this is not as good as the first time I watched it. But maybe
honest,
it's with tinted lens.
I feel like
definitely tinted lens.
I feel like that what's his name? Space Jam. I think it's a trash film.
Really Space Jam is terrible.
I watched it back recently.
There's no if you really deep it. If you watch it, it's terrible.
I love the movie though. I can't help but love it. But at the same time, if I'm being completely objective, it's like a poor quality movie. But you know, it's nostalgia blind.
Big numbers, nostalgic, of course, but
for real, that's Space Jam. Don't ever get it twisted, but it's a bad film.
It is, yeah.
Yeah, I was shocked when I saw it again. I was like, yo, Jordan Jackson is abysmal. It's even worse because he's interacting with like cartoons that aren't there, which is hard enough as is.
Yeah.
And then the CGI is dated. It's just there's a number of
you can't really uncredit the CGI because that's essentially what it was at the time.
It's dated. I know what you mean, but it's dated. And there's some films like Jurassic Park still holds up, and I think those two came out around about the same time.
Yeah, but Jurassic Park is more of like a cultural phenomenon, like type of everybody was waiting to see it type thing. Whereas Space Jam, probably not as much money was put behind it.
You know what? It's a testament to Jordan. I think us thinking Space
Jam
was so good. Yeah, because if Ronaldo came out with a film, I'm sure like all the kids under 10 that are like he's their favorite player, they'd love it. Space Jam with Cristiano Ronaldo will be wild. I don't even want to know.
Yeah.
Because what's it? Ronaldo's English voice is really annoying. Like it kind of grates. So I don't know if I could watch him do an hour and a half of practicing free kicks.
Nah,
maybe not.
No.
It'll be a no from me, dog. But
it's great storytelling though, because at the time he retired, then he went back into basketball. It's great storytelling, and it was just that current time, so it made sense at that time. But nah. But what's it? Back to Batman vs Superman, the same topic. Would you watch the new Justice League, the one that's coming out?
Yeah, well done. Yeah, I'll watch it definitely. I'm interested to see what they're saying. Like chunks were left out, but DC needs to stop doing this because it's the same. Because I spoke with Collins, and he told me that Batman vs Superman makes more sense, or is a better film if you watch the Snyder cut. And now you're telling me watch Justice League Snyder cut, and apparently that makes more sense and is a better film. And now they're saying there's a Suicide Ayer cut, and apparently that's a better film and makes more sense. Just do the director's vision and give us a decent film in the first place.
And more importantly, the Batman, the film, The Batman, by what's my man's name?
Matt Reeves.
Ben Affleck. Ben Affleck. Apparently, that film, just the writing, the write-up of the script was amazing, but they scrapped it. And the one that what's this use? Rob Pattinson. He's doing that film. He's doing VVS, Mr. VVS. He's doing another version that doesn't make sense, and not particularly a lot of people are happy with it, but they're very much happy with Ben Affleck's version. So now Warner Bros. And AT&T are asking Ben Affleck to come back as Batman and do
That's gonna
the
be a
Batman.
mess, man.
It's going to be a mess, but the thing is, if people fall in love with the Snyder Cut for the
But they're
Justice
just
League,
giving themselves more of a headache because they're going back to filming on Robert Pattinson's version. So what, you can have two Batmans at the same time?
I thought the Matt Reeves one is like the original, like the official one. I've not heard anything about one of
And
those.
even now that I've sat on it, and I don't know what sort of direction they're going in with the Matt Reeves one, but like Robert Pattinson's Batman doesn't sound like it's going to make sense in the DC.
he doesn't want to work out, bro. He wants to be the same VVS guy, vampire, and still be Batman. He wants to be the same. And it's like, it don't make sense.
That was disrespectful, man. I ain't going to play because Batman's probably my favourite superhero. I just feel like it's a bit rude. Like, I don't know. It sounds like he doesn't care about what's a really important role. And when you get an opportunity to play arguably one of the greatest fictional characters, you pay respect. If they want him to look lean, and that's the route they're going with for their Batman, cool. But I'm not with it.
I think he doesn't care, man. I think he's just there for the bag.
He doesn't care, but I don't like the way he worded it.
I think he's just literally there for the bag.
I think he's chatting shit, and I think he's still working out.
He's
saying it to maintain his image of being edgy and artistic, but he knows if he turns up on set and he's 20 kg underweight, Warner Bros. Will slap his head.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. And
it's going to be in his. It's going to be in the contract.
I'm excited for it. I think Matt Reeves is a good director. I think
great director. Yeah,
he has a catalog and he has a vision and he knows how to execute. So I'm quite excited for this. I think it's going to be good.
And all jokes aside, Robert Pattinson's a good actor, so it's in good hands. That I'm not worried about. Like that's fine. We're going to get a good movie. I'm very confident in that. Similar to what we got with the Joker, but it's just a bit of a mess to DC. Like you can't have several iterations of the Batman in the same year. That's just crazy to me.
You can, because of the multiverse. If that's what they're trying to include now.
Okay, I don't know the direction they're going now, but I'm going off the facts that I have in front of me right now. It doesn't make sense. You can't have two.
They don't have direction.
Imagine two Captain Americas at the same time. There's no direction. That's exactly it. It's a joke, man.
That's why you're wearing the Marvel tee right now.
Listen, I have to represent, man. You got to talk on the ops. You got to talk on the ops. But no, it's just they need to get it. They need to get it patterned
for sure.
Thing is, though, they want it to make people get HBO. It's not going to make me get HBO. I'm watching that legally straight. Well, not illegally, but you know what I mean.
I'm not paying money for that. HBO have an incredible catalog, though. I will say that they might have the best catalog of anything if you really, really think about it.
Yeah, I was speaking about this with someone the other day. Netflix is not good. When you really sit down and think about it, not good is strong. So that's just. But it's like it's got so much catalog, and 90% of it, I reckon we don't even know exists. Yeah. Like there's a show on Netflix with 2 seasons that you didn't know existed.
There's 2 French films I've watched, bro. They're amazing. They're actually amazing.
And then the thing with Netflix is you can't advertise everything. So that those 2 French films, I'm sure, are great, but they can't do a proper campaign for it. So it's not going to get the exposure it deserves.
But I think those French films, I think they were only for France. Like how you have
I got you.
Story for the UK. Like those films are only for France. And then if they get out to the world, they get out to the world. The same way with Top Boy. Top Boy was only a UK thing. And then later on got onto Netflix. Boom.
That's such a gamble, though, because I even think of things like Stranger Things. How does that just pop off as an international phenomenon? Like, especially because Netflix just put stuff on there and like, okay, you guys pick what you want to be popular. Like, imagine being an actor and being on a show on Netflix. It could either change your life or it could just be a bag and you got to move on. 1 season, you're out.
Mm.
But I think they need to update their algorithms.
Yeah.
Because that's very important. Because the thing is, you'll find content that can suffice for like a year. Like you could sit there and just watch Netflix for a good year, and stuff will just be just for you. But they need to update their algorithms. Once they do that, they'll be winning again.
Yeah, we'll just have to wait and see. Can you let me know what the third topic is? I completely forgot.
It's Chip sending for Stormzy on Ways, and it's Stormzy sending for Chip on, I don't know.
Well, I'm gonna let Eman handle this. Are you up to date on this?
Well, I know there's two songs. I know there's Ways, and then there's the new track with Tion Wayne, Dutch Valley, but I don't know what lyrics you're talking about because I haven't sat down and really listened to them. Like the other day, I listened to Drake's lyrics.
Who? Oh, what are you gonna tell us?
He was dissing Pusha T. I mean, there was a slight jab at Kanye West, but mainly Pusha T.
You need to come off that horse, man. Lost. Bow out. Especially when he's not gonna go there. But I just thought the Chip and Stormzy thing was quite interesting. Especially because what I found most interesting is because I didn't think there was anything there, but how like social media can make it seem like there was something there. Because I didn't see anything in it. And when I heard Ways for the first time, I didn't think, oh, this is a Stormzy diss. Same way I heard Stormzy on, I don't know. I didn't think, oh, this is a Chip diss. So I just thought it was.
What is the lyric that you guys are talking about? Because
I don't know.
So the lyric is, off the top of my head, on Ways. The lyrics, I think personally, I think Chip was sending for Stormzy.
You think?
Yeah. It wasn't a direct jab, but you know what Chip's like? He's smart. He's very smart, and the lyrics are, there's too many references for it not to be aimed at Stormzy. So off the top of my head, I can't know word for word, but he says, "You ain't gone platinum, gold, or bronze, you prick." And then that goes on to him talking about, you're not the coldest artist. Obviously, Stormzy has a song called Bronze. He has got a song called Cold. He also references himself as the king of grime. Says there's a bar in there that references him saying you're not the king around here. It's just very convenient. There's too many bars in such a small 2-3 line period that is just conveniently all reference to Stormzy. And I think Stormzy's response was just as vague. So he's obviously saying, "Oh, what's all this talk about people at me? I don't know." And he's not calling out Chip directly, but it's just, those vague shots.
Yeah.
Just trying to feel each other out and see who bites first is what I'm seeing was going on.
That's what I said about the Drake thing. If you really look at it, who is he specifying in the bars?
Drake is the king of that.
Exactly, and I feel like Drake was really going to Pusha T. But back to the topic of this, yeah. Let me read the lyrics because you man are saying stuff, and I'm like, I did not hear anything.
Nah, I heard it the first time, and my eyebrows are raised because I was like, because you can easily prove that it isn't at the same time because Stormzy obviously has gone platinum. You know what I'm saying?
That's what it was weird to me because it was like, I just don't think, when you hear a diss or someone tries to make something out of nothing really, but it's like I couldn't put the 2 and 2 together for me. That's what it was.
For me, I could definitely see it, man.
Okay, I see it.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's definite.
You think they're getting spicy?
100%.
Basically, it starts off like this. If 3 man try to link up and do an album, it's not going to sound like this. Trying to sound like A, trying to sound like Skep, and the rest trying to sound like Chip. You ain't been platinum, silver, or gold. You ain't even been bronze, you div. Allow it. You ain't even done 10 years in this thing. Round here, we don't hear you're a king. Man, I'll take your throne. Piss on your forehead, know your role. With the cold spitters, you ain't even been toe to toe. Step in the ring, get shown the ropes. Tell me what, you believe in God. Kill him off, that's the Holy Ghost. Listen, something's happening, man.
100%. It is. I can't look at this and not think it is.
And then let me look at
There's too many
Stormzy's thing.
references. There's too many references, in my opinion, man.
And then go to Stormzy's song, or not Stormzy's
Because
song.
I mean, in a way, you could say he's just talking to. Let's just what's this guy's name? Freaking Young'un, but he's almost done 10 years in the game if you really deep it.
Yeah.
Whereas
the God bars as
Stormzy,
well.
he's saying
Yeah,
he's the king of grime. It's like maybe not. Stormzy fits the shoe. That's what I'm saying.
100%.
I mean, the God part, especially when you consider how much of a religious aspect there is to Stormzy's music, that makes sense. There's something there
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah,
But
definitely.
I don't know, especially because these two are the type to get spicy and the subliminals. We love it, but I don't know. It's interesting to see. It would be very interesting to watch.
Who's your money on?
Oh, some chick.
Mm.
Stormzy's a good competitor, though. As he showed, I mean, he got rid of the Godfather of Grime, whether we like it or not. I don't think that he won that. There's no way to go about it, really. So I don't think
Not really.
Stormzy would be a walkover.
Not really. I don't think so.
Not really.
I think Wiley definitely finished him off, but just because of the beat selection and the backing that Stormzy has, Stormzy won. But I don't think he actually won lyrically, though.
Nah, I think it was pretty clear. He won, in my opinion.
So, alright, so here's Stormzy's bars. Is he sending for me? I don't know. What them boy, their sell first week? I don't know. Boy. When they ask for the fee, let them know that it's 1.5 for the headline show.
Jeez, 1.5. Lord have
That's
mercy.
money. And in the video, he had no trim as well. To say 1.5 with no trim, that's boss level.
Mad.
He's a bad guy for that. That's cheeky.
That song was really good as well, to be fair.
That's a bop.
It could be at Chip, because look, if you see this side, if you see this bar, came offline, I've been chilling in mountains. How about you, bro? I really sell albums. Wait, look, I thought I heard shots, but the shoe don't fit. Can't flex on me with the Louboutin drip. Carl, my nigga, that's stupid shit. We all know that I'm stupid rich. Can't stand these neeks when they talk on the tune. Guys, wagwan, bro, when I walk in the room. That's Big Mike, the most paid, the most sold. And I still get love from all the dudes like, nah, that's mad. It's mad.
It's definitely a response, because at the end of the day, Chip's bars were quite vague. And what Stormzy's saying is he sending for me? I don't know. I'm not a detective, but it just kind of spells out to me that there is definitely something going on there.
Do you believe in God?
Maybe.
Kill him off. That's a holy. No. Because the thing is, I was thinking, okay, that's a bar, but who on earth can that bar be related to? But now we're talking about Stormzy and him singing on the other album.
It's
a little something, isn't it?
100%.
Chip told him.
And did he go gold platinum? Did he do anything? What was his numbers first week? Stormzy.
He's gone platinum, surely. He went number one. That much I do know. I don't know if he's gone platinum, to be fair.
So then I think he's talking to two people. But at the same time, it could be talking to like those two people. They could take it in different ways.
What do you guys think is going to transpire next?
I mean, everyone's bored, isn't it? So let's have a clash.
I think Chip is gonna directly at him next. That's my prediction.
Chip is
He's going to directly at him, because there's a lot of he say she say right now, and I think Chip is the kind of guy to just be like, "Hello, I'm talking to you."
Kind of does make you wonder what if they do go at it, what it would have been over, or maybe it's just friendly sparring.
It just looks like sparring, man. Nothing really malicious being said. It's just like, "Oh, I'm the best spitter" type clash. So hopefully it stays in that vein, but hopefully we get some good diss tracks out of it. It'll be fun.
Yeah, because I just can't see those two. I don't really, not that they've had a relationship anyway or that they've been buddy, but I don't see why they would fall out, especially because they're just two very important people to our genre.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, they did fall out because of the Tiny Temper Bugsy Malone, Stormzy track that first surfaced, and then it was like, wait, hold on, like, you know, my man's dissing me, and then you're supposed to be my bro, and then what's going on? And they just squashed it, and then they made a track. So I don't think there's
that
any.
track that they've got together is fantastic.
Yeah.
What's it called again?
I think it's Hear This. I don't know.
It is Hear This.
Yeah.
But that's one of my favourite songs of like two rappers going back to back and just giving it 10 out of 10. You know, that's that real you go, I go, and it's top level. No one drops the ball. But no, it'll be interesting. I welcome it if they do go at it. And I guess after speaking with you guys, I can see that there's some lyrics in there that they could be going back and forth. I think Chip's definitely speaking to more than one person though, because not everything fits.
Yeah,
but I think it's like I think it's like a dinner table basically. You make a massive meal for everybody who's on that table, and everybody has their own sort of plate where it's like, that's for me, that's for you, that's for you. And some people, they can take everything from that plate. So I think yes, he's talking to several people, but some people know that they're talking to him directly as well. Very interesting. Very lyrical.
Oh, can't wait to see how this plays out.
Yeah.
Eman, who's your money on?
It's not on Stormzy, but Stormzy has money, bruv. 1.5. Stormzy has money, and the thing is, he has the backing of the whole entire country. Like, if I say Chipmunk to people, it's like, oh, who, the guy that made Oopsie Daisy? I mean, that's for the majority pop of the United Kingdom who doesn't listen to grime or this Afro swing movement at the moment. You mentioned Stormzy. Oh, yeah, he does grime, innit? That's it. So
I still feel Chip has enough of like respect to be able to get the job done. Like, I don't think. Whereas with Stormzy, he did have an upper hand with the Wiley beef because how famous he is at the moment. You know, sometimes people like to just pick the person who's hot at the moment a bit. But that being said, I think Chip's got enough catalogue and is relevant enough for it to not go that way.
Yeah.
But, my money's on Chip, but it won't be easy. Stormzy has shown he's a competitor.
I think Stormzy could surprise people because I think we kind of saw like the similarities with Drake when he went at Meek and won, and then obviously the Pusha T thing came and he just got he obviously had some good disses in there, but he still got annihilated. So I guess it depends how Stormzy goes about it because he is a good rapper, but obviously Chip is a better rapper technically. It just depends how he goes about it, and I think just for contrarian's sake, I'll pick Stormzy because he.
But then again, Stormzy. Sorry, continue.
Literally, all I was going to say is he has, like you said, the clout and the popularity vote. Let's just say, for example, right, they both put out really good lyrical disses. Just by pure volume, people will say that Stormzy won. Do you see my point?
Yeah.
Same thing with Wiley as well.
Yeah, maybe a bit different in my opinion. But I'm kind of with Demi on that one. But I'm just saying, like, from a rapper's perspective, they're not too far away in terms of ability, but the clout might be the reason why people assume Stormzy would win.
Yeah, I think this beef is really important. Will be really important who goes first, because if let's say Chip goes first and he comes out the gate weak, which is what we saw happen with Wiley, you know Stormzy's on your neck. So whoever goes first, they've got to come correct, basically.
Yeah, 100%.
Perfect.
100%. I guess we should get into the main topic.
The reason we're all here.
Yeah. How do you guys want to attack this? Should we start from the beginning, I guess?
Yeah. Yes. So what is this? Was it all last week, more or less? Or last week, obviously George Floyd, unfortunately, horribly, was killed. But was it last week? I just want to get the timeline right because so much has happened in the space of a week.
Let's say that this timeline began with the murder of the first gentleman. I'm sorry, I forgot his name, but the one who was jogging.
The one
that was probably the beginning of all of this because people, were assuming to be quarantining and being indoors. He was literally jogging in his neighborhood and he was brutally killed by 2 off-duty cops, I believe.
Yeah.
This was back in February?
Yeah, which happened a while ago, but only began to gain traction online in the past month or so, if maybe less. So, people were already tense because of that. And then obviously rolling into what happened to George Floyd at the beginning of this week.
Say that lady in the park.
I'm not aware of that one, I don't believe.
So she was walking her dog and this guy, a black guy asked her, can you put your dog on a leash? And she called 999 and he was recording and everything. So I'm still like...
It's just been a snowball effect.
Yeah, and the pot has been boiling and it's boiled for sure. And everything just has blown over now, really. And they've got no one to...
Yeah, go on.
What was you going to say? I was just going to say, they've got no one to blame but themselves, and that is not the African Americans or anything like that, but the police. Like, the situation they're in, I think people for real feel like enough is enough. Like, it's just mad. Can't keep happening. Can't keep protesting. They're not listening one way. So I feel it's frustration,
Yeah, so the gentleman's name is Ahmaud Arbery.
Yes.
That's the one who was just running and then obviously was just shot dead. Yeah, that's a bit disturbing because my man was just jogging and all of a sudden people just have the tools to end another man's life. Not for a particular reason, but just mainly based on his skin color. And then also, if you really, really deep it, I mean, for centuries with slaves, and then, with the segregation in the United States, the UK, even things happening in the UK, the fact that this was a recording and it's still happening today is kind of crazy. Like, the fact that she will call the police and say that this black man is harassing me. She's choking out her dog, which is another thing, which is hilarious in itself. But that dog was almost about to die. But it's the fact that she's calling up a police officer to say, listen, this black man is harassing me, and so on and so forth. And the police are asking, like, okay, what's the question? The police are actually questioning, like, okay, what's actually happening? Now, with all that's going on, today, a black man could just be shot dead, right? He could be arrested and say, oh, he had a weapon, oh, he was being aggressive, oh, so on and so forth. So she knew that. But this has been happening for centuries. A white woman in slavery, a white woman could be walking, all of a sudden, that boy looked at me, straight away lynching.
Harriet Tubman, man.
Yeah. Straight away lynching. It's like, it's crazy. Like, it's crazy that this situation is happening today and people feel privileged to do so. Like, all they have to do is make a phone call and say, this black individual is doing so on and so forth to me.
That's it. It's gone left.
It's gone super left, and then now they have to go and get aggressive. Now there's police officers who are willing to do whatever they want to do to a black man because lawfully they can get away with it.
Yeah, that's what's the craziest thing, isn't it? Really, they can, and they have been getting away with it. And I just feel like what's happened recently was the final straw. Like, people just can't take it anymore. In what world do you need to sit on someone's neck like that for even a minute? Like, there's no way. If you put that much pressure on someone and you sit and you do that, it's only going to go one way. So I don't understand. And the thing is, we've seen they arrest people on a daily. You can't arrest and reprimand without causing any injury. There's a way to go about it. It's just
I
And
want to
more
know.
importantly, like, oh,
Go on,
sorry,
Eman.
Collins.
No, go on. Well, I'm going to take it a little bit left, but you finish.
Yeah, with the police, Michael Jar White, he's the actor who does martial arts, black actor. If you don't know who he is, he's the individual who played in The Dark Knight, the black man, right? Who put a million on Joker's head. But I digress. Anyways, so he said back in the day when he had his first child, yeah, he needed a stable income before he became the actor that he is today. And he went, and because he was cool with the police, he was cool with security, he went and applied to be a policeman. And he passed everything with flying colors, yeah. And then when it came to the final stage, like, okay, thank you very much, you are now a policeman, they called him in and said, we can't allow you to be a policeman. And he asked, why is that? And he said, due to the fact that you have a high IQ, we can't actually allow you to be a policeman due to the fact that you having a high IQ, you can outwit and outsmart all the police officers here and cause corruption within our police department. And it was like, okay, cool. But now that he's brought that up, this was in a Vlad interview, Vlad TV interview, and he pretty much said that one of these individuals who are police officers, even in the United Kingdom today, I said this on a group chat, all of them may have a low IQ, and the main thing they're only being police officers is to do things to get away with them in one way, but majority of them, they just want a stable income and a pension. That's it. And there is a very small minority of police officers who want to do the job as a police officer because they wanted to become a police officer. We all know my man from school. I don't want to say his name, but he's a police officer, like, just to protect his name, innit? But my man from school, pretty much, he said from day, like, listen, I want to become a police officer because my dad was a police officer, my granddad was a police officer. He would start quoting laws and sections and this and that. My man got bullied in school because he wanted to become a police officer. Right now, today, he's a police officer and he's happy. He's the happiest man there is. His best friend is a black man. So I know that his intention was never to harass, beat up black people. His intention was, because my grandfather was a police officer, I want to become a police officer, and that's it. That was his conviction from a very young age. He decided. All these other individuals, they all have a low IQ. They just want to get a pension and go home and do their job. If they get angry, they would rather take it out on someone else rather than their wife and their kids or anything like that. And that's how I feel that today the police officers are in the United States and the United Kingdom.
It ties into one of the things I've noticed or just observed. So I've been watching The Wire, as I've continuously been saying, and there's like an episode which really stuck out to me. And long story short, there's a crime scene, and there are loads of officers on the scene, and there's traffic right next to it. There's a black man right in front of the traffic in his car, beeping his horn to get by. And one of the police officers, a white police officer, gets irritated by it, runs up to him and pulls him out of the car to try to beat him up. The other police officers hold him back, pull him back and say, what you doing here? And then they apologize to the black man, but he reports it to the police. So the police will go back to their precinct, and the chief of police, who was there when it happened, was just trying to ask people, look, how are we going to dress this up? How are we going to keep this guy from getting reprimanded? Because he would have lost his job essentially.
Yeah.
And he was trying to make up a story for him. And he asked the guy, like, why did you do what you did? Like, the guy was clearly annoyed. He wanted to get by in traffic. He didn't do anything wrong. And the white police officer was like, nah, fuck that guy. He deserved it. He was like taking a piss. So I just want to show him who's boss. And at that moment, the chief, who is black, the chief was like, you know what? I'm writing you up, because at the end of the day, you can't do stuff like that to minorities. Like, he's just trying to drive by. So essentially, the episode's showing that a lot of these police institutions are boys' clubs. A lot of them won't go to their superiors and tell when someone's acting up. At the end of the day, the force is like, imagine you're part of a cult. You're not going to snitch on somebody else who's in your cult. Do you know what I mean? So there's a lot of internal politics that goes on within the police force, a lot of corruption that goes on where, you know, black people are stopped disproportionately because they're trying to get their numbers up, funnily enough, because they have a quota to fill. So it's way more than what we see and how people treat us in society. It's also that within the police force, the people who are supposed to protect us, there is a vast amount of corruption. So
nothing can change until you change that or you fix that. And for me, the craziest thing is the fact that people have to now protest. We have to, because you know you want to see change in the middle of a pandemic which has been shown to kill us 4 times more likely, and what we've got to go out and protest for our rights. It's just crazy to me. That was the thing that really got me. The fact that, you know, the virus is already out there, and we have to go out there and then protest when the virus is more likely to kill us.
I think the protest is orchestrated, mate. Like, I think it's strange, and it's not no. You know how, like, as a conspiracy theorist, I like to look at a massive picture and look at the bigger scale. This time, it's not orchestrated by no, what do you call this? No Illuminati group, no Russians, no Chinese. This is orchestrated by the United States of America. I'm seeing videos of, all of a sudden, by a courthouse, there's just a bunch of bricks ready to be thrown at the courthouse. And people are like, bruv, you see this right here? This is a trap. And then, more importantly, as I spoke about the police officers, there are some police officers who are fully going out, destroying property purposely because they want a martial law where it's targeted at black individuals. They don't want black people to thrive. I don't have the words for it, but I'm angry about it. Really angry.
Yeah,
but
definitely.
It's something that you can't physically do because you're out there trying to peacefully protest. You're out there. I mean, of course, what they did to the police cars and so on and so forth, that's the most you can go. That's as far as you can go. But then to go out and go looting, to go out and go and orchestrate situations like that, it's 10 times worse.
That's foul. Definitely. You know, a lot of the protests have been peaceful until the police or the National Guard have got there and just acted up. Like, it doesn't even correlate. People literally not doing anything. There's a whole video where people are literally unprovoked. It doesn't even make sense, like, how they're behaving. And that's what it was for me, is that we have to protest. We have to do something at this moment in time. But it's crazy that we're going out into a pandemic, into a virus that is more likely to kill us.
You see people when they rebuttal online is like, oh, aren't people supposed to be quarantining? Aren't people? Bruv, I saw 100,000 people at Southend Beach. I saw, bruv.
Yeah.
I'm seeing people protest because they don't want to actually quarantine no more. And the straw that breaks the camel's back is the fact that black people are out protesting for black people to have, like, human rights. They can suck a dick, bro. I'm not taking any of this rebuttal. I'm reading so much trash online. I'm not gonna lie to you guys, even on a personal level, yeah, because I want to get into how you guys feel about it, like, personally. But the past few days, yeah, I've been reading shit, and I think I've just had to take a break a bit from just reading shit online.
Social media,
because A, people have lost their minds, to be honest, to be frank, and B, I'm seeing a lot of people's real colours. Do you know what I'm saying? People out here exposing themselves and not realising the privilege that they have and not realising the struggles that black people go through, period. I'm seeing people complain about people protest in London. And they say, oh, it's because it's happening in the US. Why are you protesting in London? Like, bruv, this woman, that lady who got killed, mercilessly killed by a guy who spat on her face.
Spat on her face, and then they've not even tried.
It's insane.
They've kept that under the rug.
I didn't like the way they came out with that as well.
Exactly. We can't sit here and pretend like it's not going to affect us, because the racism that is happening in America is deep-rooted and systemic. The racism that we experience here is different, but it's still worth protesting for because we go through it every day. You can't just sit here and pretend like nothing is happening across the world. Do you know what I'm
I
saying?
think
It's fucking
what
mad.
really gets me is the rebuttals, but it's just the people who just can't understand. Like 2+2=4. It's not. Don't be racist. You know what I mean? Don't.
Bro,
We're protesting because of this. It's as simple as ABC. What are we talking about? How can you have a rebuttal to don't be a shitty person? Like that's crazy to me.
Yeah.
People
They even
would,
said like writing what bring one black person back. They said, well, bombing Afghanistan won't bring the 9/11, sorry, the Twin Towers back, would
do
it?
you know what I'm
but,
saying?
yeah.
Exactly.
So it's
bro.
like, I mean, if you really put two and two together, but like if you really look at it on a deeper level, I think what is actually happening here is that they're trying to get people infuriated for no particular reason. Now, what we're protesting for is the fact that a black man has died on an illegal move, and you guys are not doing anything. And this is happening countless times. This just happened to be recorded, right? So now we're obviously going to push ourselves to make sure that this precinct is under investigation and they do something about it. But in the United States, there are some things that are happening that are just going under the radar. Black people getting whooped for no reason, and then the police officer goes home. Do you know what I'm saying? People getting shot with rubber bullets. Like rubber bullets, they hurt, you know. They go through skin. They may not penetrate like the whole entire body, but they go through skin. So people are being injured, people are being hurt. And then even with like riots and protests, you see there was a protest about quarantine, what Colin just mentioned. In the United States, white people were doing it. Police weren't violent. Police didn't put bricks on the floor. Police weren't involving themselves to be violent to provoke martial law or provoke worse judgment upon people, innocent people. They weren't doing nothing. All of a sudden, it's a black individuals. That's when stuff just happens on a mad one.
Do you know what it is? It's crazy. They don't like what's being protested. Let's have it right, because them man were all outside their council offices with AK-47s up in the police's grill, and them man were just pushing them back. Us, we're there with our I'm gonna say our flyers and stuff like that, and our banners. Lock off. It just doesn't make sense. And Trump can suck a dick for like him, man. He's a waste, man.
Yeah, no, Trump is doing his
He's an elite buffoon.
Trump is doing what Trump is doing. Why is anybody expecting anything different from him? He has shown his true colors time and time again. We can't look to that man and say, "Oh, he's a buffoon," because at the end of the day, he's their leader, and he's showing us that he's on it. Do you know what I'm saying? So all we can do is be just as on it. I know it sounds mad, but he's the least of our problems in a strange way.
I can't believe that, you know, the president of the United States said when the looting starts, the shooting starts. Like, come on.
How do you guys feel? So how do you guys feel on a personal level? Let's start with you,
Demi. That's a crazy sentence, you know.
How do you feel personally about this? Like,
I think
from how you've grown up and what you've seen in your life and how this situation makes you feel.
Just exhausted, because it just feels like you're coming back here near on every 2 years. Something this scale happens, and it's the same, you know, it's the same thing. So it's just exhausted, and yeah, I think, like a lot of people, I think now enough is enough. That's it. There has to be change this time around, or we have to get them to at least acknowledge, you know, the need for change. Because I ain't really done anything since the 60s, if we're being honest. My stance is enough, basically.
What about you,
Put the
man?
country in a split if you have to.
Exactly.
No, there's a way I feel about Black Lives Matter, just in general. I don't think I will have the time to speak on it on this platform. It's really deep, like the way I feel about it. if people are willing to step up to the plate, then that's when I know there's change. And the change won't come with rioting. The change won't come with mass killing of black individuals, helpless black individuals who are just doing nothing by the police. Change will come swift. It'll be swift. It'll be quick and swift. And the thing is, it's just that the way I see things, I think people, one, they have the right intentions, but the direction is that is towards a completely different place. You know, if we want something, we should make a road to actually go and get it. And I feel like people today, they just don't know that road, and they don't know how to do it. And a conversation and acknowledgement is not going to solve it. It's just building that road to make sure that we get there is one thing. And I think if people want to acknowledge that, if people want to acknowledge their role, I think we'll definitely see something going on forward, going from now. Because I think like with the celebrities, with the influencers, with the companies, some of them today are showing their true colors. They're coming out and saying, listen, right now, what's happening is unfair. Right now happening is just absurd. Like, for example, Reebok, they came out and said, listen, without the black community, our company would be nothing. They've acknowledged that. They've said it. So they know where we stand, and they stand with us as well. Now, there are some other celebrities, some other people out here who are making the statements saying so on and so forth, Black Lives Matter. Majority of them are all frauds. Majority of them are all glory hunters. They're just there just to put it on their CV, just to say, yeah, I did it. But no one is willing to take that step and to become the role that they're supposed to do within this black movement.
But do we need, I guess it lends directly into what Demi asked in the chat. Do we need celebrities or people in institutions in order to speak out?
And no.
We don't.
I think yes and no.
No.
I don't want your false, or I don't want you to pretend, like Eman said, I don't want it to feel like the label called you up and said, yo, madness is happening. We need you to put a tweet out.
I don't need that PR statement to come out.
I don't, because it's fake. Even from, black artists that have done it, like, I'm looking at Travis a little bit differently, I've read some things, seen some interviews he's done where he said things that...
The Hot 97 one.
Yeah, I'm not too cool on... I'm a bit disappointed in Drake, but these people have power, it's like...
how much power do they have, Demi? Because in my opinion, they have influence, but they don't have power.
Maybe not power, but they're able to open up people's eyes to it, or at least people who might not have seen it. Like, people signed a petition after Zayn Malik tweeted about it. Like, it's
visibility is what it is.
It's small,
it's help,
but you can't put a price on that.
It's help. Something. That's what it is. It's like Tesco. Every little helps. That's it. But does Tesco need that every little help? No, they don't.
You can't put a price on that every little helps.
Listen, what I'm saying is we don't need any of them.
Why
we
not?
We don't need any of them.
Why not?
Their help is great. It's absolutely superb. What they do is absolutely nice. Yeah. The fact that they can support is great. They can support our cause. They can be with us. But do we need our help? No. And I think that's the one thing. People do not want to step up to the plate to be a leader. Simple. If we have leaders, for example, there is Huey Newton, there's Malcolm X, there's Martin, there's Mandela. All of them were leaders. All of them had to go through, well, 3 of them are dead. Well, all of them are dead, but one of them died living a long, happy life. But they all went and sacrificed. Nobody today is willing to do that. And more importantly, there is no guidance. So people today think that, me putting out a message on my story is going to help. In fact, people think that the peaceful protest, in a way, yes, it helps because it does give awareness to the situation that's currently happening. But I feel like being emotional does not win a war. Because right now, technically speaking, we are in war. And I'm not talking from what you call this? I'm gonna be like the new tyrant or whatever. I'm just talking from the perspective. People are killing us just because of the way we look. That's a war, and people are making their own perception of us and putting out in the media to psychologically tell them that this is what we look like. So regardless of how the celebrities may feel towards us, they're not really going to help, because Hillary Clinton was for black people when she ran for her campaign, not knowing what she did to Haiti. A lot of people didn't know what she did to Haiti.
No,
people are angry at the fact that what she did to Haiti was mad, and then the fact her foundation is it's a madness. Bill Gates, everybody loves Bill Gates until you really look into his life. You find out who his father was. You find out who his father was working for. Then you're gonna think, okay, do I really look at Bill Gates the same way? Then you realize, why is he so intrigued about Africa? Why is he ramping and talking about vaccines? Why is he so excited all of a sudden? You start thinking about these things bit by bit, then you realize some of these people are not here for you. Some of these people are just here for the glory hunting and putting that on the CV and saying, I wore the badge.
Do you know what? Eman, I know what you're saying. I think I still stand, if we can do something, we should. I'm a big believer in the fact that, I don't know the poem off by heart, but, something bad is more or less something bad is happening to people, and you turned an eye and you didn't do anything, and then they came for you and there was no one to protect you.
Don't take the yam on my mouth. That one.
Yeah. But I'm on your side, because some of these, is that, we laugh and joke, but Dr. Umar be spitting sometimes, is when he said, a lot of these celebrities, they don't have the training, they don't know what they're talking about, really.
Yeah.
I'm not looking to offset.
It's the Ja Rule and Dave Chappelle thing all over again. That's how I feel about it. I'm seeing people. I saw a really long chain thread of people getting at it, celebrities
and
getting
celebrities
at it,
embarrassing themselves. Like, Madonna, what are you doing? Like,
do you know what I'm saying? You either end up embarrassing yourself. What was that poor kid doing?
You know what? I understand where they're coming from, but it's like, what are you doing?
You either end up embarrassing yourself.
Yeah,
go on, Demi.
I was just going to say, have you seen even David Guetta was able to raise a lot of money, but it was so tone deaf. Like, it's just ridiculous.
You either end up embarrassing yourself, or you end up getting criticized for actually trying to speak your mind. So you see people, like, I'm not even going to sit here and try cap for people, because I'm not even here for any of that celebrity shit. But you'll see people get hated on because of who they are. Just because of who they are. I don't even know, I don't really have any affiliation with Kylie Jenner. But she was in the news about the billionaire stuff, and somebody quoted saying, aren't you supposed to be talking about, what's going on for the cause? And she said, I have. And then somebody put a print screen of her just showing the chainmail, when in reality she's actually posted stuff about the situation, but people are more gravitated towards a hate of a celebrity or a hate of what they're posting, as opposed to actually even being mad at black people being killed. We're losing focus on what is important. Who gives a fuck what these celebrities have to say? If they help, great. But if a bomb goes off, we're not gonna call Ja Rule for help. Who gives a fuck what he has to say right now, bro?
Exactly.
Like, it's not gonna make any difference. And the people who do make the difference will be seen. We see J. Cole out marching; he is seen. We see Jamie Foxx speaking. We see Killer Mike giving speeches. These people are seen. And when we get to a point where we actually could make some kind of actual tangible change, we'll know the people who were there. We'll know the people who weren't there. So there's no point saying I'm unhappy with this guy, I'm unhappy with that guy. Let them do what they got to do, because when the dust settles, and when one day, and hopefully one day comes where everything's Gucci with us, we'll see who was there. Do you know what I'm saying? That's how I feel about the celebrity shit.
I get you. At the end of the day, we're also human. We hold some of these people in high regard. We like them. We think, if it's time to bat for us, you'd hope they will. And it's more disappointing because the people I've been disappointed with are black. Like, I don't really care, about certain people. But if you look like, you can relate to this. You can see what's going on. So I don't know what we're talking about. You know what I mean? Like, come on, bro. If someone's a black artist, I think you have every right to feel man should step up to the plate and say something. Use your platform that you've been fortunate enough that life has given you. That's why
if you're doing it in person, though, at least we know it's real. Like people put too much emphasis on social media. There's people out there actually touching people's lives in a real space.
I'm not talking to people who are calling out J. Cole and Kendrick. Kendrick has a whole album.
But not even them. Let's take them out of the equation. Fuck them. I love them, but fuck them. Let's just say the people in general. Let's just say, for example, I don't know, Jay-Z. He doesn't even have social media, but we all know damn well he's doing something.
Yeah, we know what he's. Yeah.
So we also as a society need to try and kind of get this,
but even
idea of social media out of our heads when it comes to this.
I think there's only one way this can be resolved, and you really have to study, like not even just study, just observe, just everything that's going on in terms of movements. So you have to go back, you have to see Huey Newton, you have to see Malcolm X, you have to see Martin Luther, Martin Luther King. You have to see all these individuals and really observe what were they doing and what did they actually accomplish. Then you have to see what's happening today and how those sort of stages can be implemented. Because if you look at the LGBTQIP, whatever they want to call themselves, right? Not to be disrespectful, but you look at how they've established themselves. Every June, actually not even every June now, every year there's a freaking rainbow on their brand. There's a rainbow everywhere. But in June, they must make sure that they are known and they are welcome and they are included in society. Not integrated, but included. Black people today, we haven't even, like in the UK, we haven't fought for the fact that they tried to change Black History Month to Multicultural Month. We haven't changed that. We don't have an establishment. Something to say, listen, boom. Yeah. We can't allow that happening. You guys need to change this. There has to be an establishment, a business, something that actually pushes forward laws and legislation, something that at least funds, communities to make sure that there is a stable place for young individuals to now put their creative minds or even put education there just to help them. There is nothing like that in the UK. If there is anything like that in the UK, congratulations to them. I show my love to them. Definitely. I'll post them up here and there. But they're on a smaller scale. But there is not one establishment to actually push this forward. There's the LGBTQ charities. Skittles now do the whole entire month for June. They have colorless Skittles just so that the LGBTQ can thrive. Black History Month, nothing like that, bruv. Black History Month in February in the United States, all we get is Nikes. That's it. We don't get anything else. There's nothing pushed forward. There is no leadership. There is no economic structure. There is no social conditioning to make sure that we are established in this society. And we can go on for ages and talk about how Africa right now is going through another form of colonialism and they can't reach out their hand to help us. But I don't want to say that we're alone, but we have to work together and we have to make sure that we are established. That's the one thing, because these protests will go on forever, but as soon as we're established, they can't really touch us no more. They can't talk to us anyhow. They have to make sure that they address us properly as Sir.
Do you think, from what it sounds like you're saying, do you think we need tactics? Because it's all well and good protesting and doing what we're doing, but there's no plan in place.
You don't win a war with emotions, bro. That's all I can say. You don't win a war with emotions.
It's what you said, Eman. It's economical structure. That's if someone asks me how are you going to do it, that's the way to do it. Because when you look at other minority groups who are obviously not going through the same struggle we have, but let's just take Asia, for example.
Even you look at MLK and what he did, their man, they were listened to because they stopped. That you look at the Alabama, everything they did in Alabama with the buses, and they said we're not taking the buses anymore. And when they started losing profits, their man listened and like, this is actually, they've got something. They've got power. That's when they'll talk to you. A lot of these countries, they don't talk to you as soon as they see your presence has an impact, they'll start listening because they listen to money. Once you start messing up the economy, that's when they listen.
Bro, do you think they could do this to Chinese people in America? Absolutely not.
Not a
No.
chance.
Do you know this is what I'm trying to say. So if you look at them, yeah, for example, they obviously probably experience some kind of racism, but obviously it's different to the type we experience. But it will never ever run because they are economically powered. They have an army. They have things in structure where if you're a certain race and you live outside the country, they've got you. So until, and I know it's a really long shot, but as Eman's saying, until Africa unites and becomes an economical powerhouse and people actually pull their resources together and not get manipulated by whatever countries that need our stuff or our resources, it's not going to change.
It
That's
doesn't even have
literally
to be with Africa. I mean, you could start off with us. Even like, for example, just our European contribution. Like, if there was a society here in the United Kingdom and we actually establish ourselves properly, I'm telling you for sure, we will make enough noise. They'll have to actually say something. They'll have to step up to the plate and say, all right, listen, let's change. Let's change the way we train our individuals. Let's do psychoanalysis on every single police officer. Let's find a way to fund that and make sure that that's actually happening. And we're getting the right and correct people in our police force. And if those individuals are not there, then we'll do something about it. Because, I mean, in the United States, there's so many racists that are being, well, there's so many KKK covert members who are in there and they're just doing whatever they please. As long as they don't get in trouble, they're all right. So it's frustrating for one, but I think now is the time where people will have to step up as leaders. People will now have to step up and come together and become a strong force to contest this. Because I don't think it's right to go and fight every single KKK member. But I think it's better if we go to the legislation, to the laws, you know, the principality itself, and fight that.
It's the people who hold the real
It doesn't
power.
even have to be money, bro. It could just be one person. Because I guarantee you, in the beginning, they never had money. Malcolm X, Huey Newton, they never had money. I mean, the money came,
but
and they became a bit powerful.
Them, I'm not saying, no, not that they've got money or we need someone who's rich to do it. I'm saying if you attack the economy or you, they notice that impact, things change, man.
Things will change.
Just gotta follow the
They
money.
will.
Follow the money, and you never know
man.
where you end up, man.
For real.
Yeah.
Is there anything else on the docket?
Nah, man. I feel like that's probably the best.
That was
place
quite
to end it.
therapeutic.
Yeah, I had to get some shit off, man. I've been saying so much nonsense this past week, bro.
For
it's
real.
been a heavy week, for sure. Just prayers out to all the families that are affected by it.
Yeah, of course.
100%.
Prayers out to all black people worldwide. Prayers out to the people who are fighting a cause who are non-black. Prayers to the people who are actually trying to make active change and people in positions of power trying to make things actually move. Because, you know, it's all well and good burning down things. It's all well and good protesting. But once this is all done, we don't want things to go back to normal.
No.
So, you know, let's try and make real change, you know?
Yeah.
Anyway, man, it's been real. Honestly, that's a good episode. Managed to tackle a lot of things.
Yeah, absolutely.
MIC going live on Saturday, isn't it? Saturday, 6th of June. So that should be fun. That's something to look forward to.
It'll be this week.
So that'll be great. It will be this week. So yeah, all the information will be on the Instagram and Twitter and Facebook. So just go have a read there. But it was another good episode, boys.
Lovely stuff.
Lovely, man, lovely.
Hopefully,
guys, take care.
Yeah, take
bless.
care.
Stay
Hopefully,
safe.
better vibes next time. But you know, stay safe.
For real.